Hello, everyone. So I thought I would go through, how do you become a delegate for the 2020 Republican and Democratic National Conventions. Uh, my information I got today is from Ballotpedia.org. Ballotpedia.org. It's really an up-to-date, continuously updated website. Um, and it's wonderful. So it says here that um, the nominee for presidential, for the Republican presidential nominee, will be selected by the delegates of the Republican National Convention, which will be held August 24th to 27th, 2020, in Charlotte, North Carolina. So in 2020, there'll be an estimated of 2,550 delegates, 2,440 pledged delegates, and 110 unpledged delegates. Um, so this is a very interesting. So what is a pledged delegate? What does the Republican Party consider a pledged delegate? Well, they consider it as a person who pledges to vote at, for the nominated candidate, the endorsed candidate for the party. Because once the convention's over, then the whole reason to call a convention for presidential year is to nominate and endorse a candidate for the 2020 presidential election. So, uh, so that just being a pledged delegate means that you will uh, follow the Republican National Convention endorsement. Um, Pledged district delegates are distributed and elected at the congressional district level. Pledged at-large delegates are distributed and elected statewide. Pledged party leaders are like party chairs or and things of that nature. So unpledged delegates, they are not bound by the results of the state primaries or caucuses. Some states and territories party rules dictate that some or all of their Republican delegates are unbound. The following are an estimate of unbound Republican delegates as of May 2019. So Colorado, so let's go. Pennsylvania has 54. North Dakota looks like they have 29. Colorado has 3. Wyoming has 3. And 18 delegates of the American Samoa and Gami. And the Virgin Island 3 party leader delegates. So really gives you a look at each state and how you become a delegate. So let's look at, since we've been really concentrating in Minnesota and South Carolina, because those are the two states that I've voted in as an adult, so those are the only ones that I know about firsthand. So Minnesota primary. Okay, we look over at South Carolina primary. Okay, at-large delegate, they both get 10. District live delegates, You can go through this on your own time. But yeah, so you get the idea of, and it gives you this website. Like I said, is very helpful and intuitive, and full of information to unpack. Um, so if we go to, now this is the Democratic Delegate Rules 2020. 2020 Democratic presidential nominee will be selected by the delegates to the Democratic National Convention, which will be held July 13th to 16th, 2020, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Um, I've actually been to Milwaukee because I used to live in Minnesota, and Milwaukee is not too far from my old stomping grounds. So it's a very nice area. Anyway, the national nominee. So in 2020, there'll be an estimated 4,532 delegates, 376, 307, 3,768 pledged delegates, and 764 automatic delegates. We in the in the Democratic Party, they call them, you'll hear more if you go to their party, if you talk to people from their party that are very active, they'll call them super delegates. Generally speaking, super delegates are elected officials, chairs of um, like party, like state party chairs, um, people like that. And elected officials, and many of the elected officials are also super delegates. Um, okay, so here we go. Pledged delegates are elected during primaries, caucuses, or party conventions, and must express either a presidential candidate preference or an uncommitted preference as a condition of their election. Rule 13J of the Democratic National Committee defines a pledged delegate's responsibility as, and I quote, delegates elected to the National Convention pledged to a presidential candidate shall, in all good conscience, reflect the sentiment of those who elected them. So there are 3 district-type pledged delegates. There's the congressional or state legislative district level. There's the at-large, statewide, and the pledge PLEO delegates are most often selected in a similar manner as at-large delegates, party leaders, and elected officials. So PLO stands for party leader and elected officials. Um, so if you go down here, it's the same thing. You'll find Minnesota has 49 district delegates, 16 at-large delegates, 10 PLOs. So let's look at the total. 92 in total in Minnesota, and in South Carolina there's 63 in total. But again, you can go to this website and find all the information. It will be very interesting to see how things. I was in Minnesota the last presidential election, and Um, it was very interesting because I was working with the party at the time, and it was very interesting to see the inner workings of how party politics takes place. Anyway, so that's like I said, Ballotpedia is very, very interesting. You can look up candidates with this website, and like I said, they try to keep everything up to date and things. I know that they have like you can make donations to this website if you wanted to, help keep um, this website going. Anyway, so Ballotpedia, I like it very much. Um, so I hope this video was helpful. If you found it helpful, and you please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Uh, from now until the elections, I'm pretty much going to concentrate on the 2020 elections, the more national election, so the presidential. I can cover certain areas like um, Minnesota and South Carolina pretty well because I've been in both areas. But uh, if you want me to cover a specific topic, please request that down below, and I will do my best to make a video upon your request. If you have any questions or comments, leave those down below. Again, if you like this video, like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And let's learn from one another. And there's probably things that you know about that I may not know about, especially in your specific area. So help me by by letting me know things, and then I can make videos on them. Um, so I just wanted to uh, thank you again for your subscribing to my channel and liking and